Welcome to A1R Psychic Radio here on Moonstruck TV with Amanda Hall Psychic all the way from the Gold Coast. Hope you're having an absolutely fantastic week wherever you are in this globe of ours. I know here in Australia we've had an interesting week politically, and I'm sure a lot of other nations around the world have had the same thing. It's been a week of, controversy and people telling lies and people sort of jockeying for positions. But anyway, let's kick the show off in a different sort of direction with the Simply Tarot card of the week. This is one of the cards that a lot of students struggle with when they first take up the tarot, because it's the card of the devil. And the devil conjures up, I suppose, lots of different meanings for all of us, whether you're religious or not. It has a sort of an unusual sort of connotation for most people. But my belief of the devil card is jealousy and trouble. You are able to break the chains that are holding you back. So when you look very closely at the devil card, you can see he's loosely got some chains around the necks of the two people standing below us, and they are able to remove those chains or break those restrictions that might be holding them back in their lives. And I think there's many times in our lives where we sort of self-impose the restrictions that are placed on ourselves. We put them there ourselves because maybe it's fear, maybe we're not ready to take that step, or maybe we just don't know how. So if you feel a little bit this way this week, I want you to try and sort of think outside your comfort zone, think outside the box and see if you can find a way to break it up, that you can move or remove those restrictions that may be holding you back in your life. I know for me that, sometimes in this colder weather, I find it difficult to sort of get motivated to move because I'm such a summer person. I like the warmth and sort of, the restrictions of not too many clothes on and things like that. So this card's very apt for me at the moment, that I've got to motivate myself to get up out of the chair and move and do a few things in life at the moment, because I don't want to, because it's so cold. So whatever your restrictions may be, maybe this is the week that we can turn all that around. So moving right along, astrologically this week, we've still got quite a big emphasis on, 4 planets sitting in Leo. So when we've got 4 planets sitting in Leo, including the sun, it means that the focus is on being on the stage. So whether that's you or whether it's people around you or just people in political arenas and people that are famous that want to sort of get in the limelight, that want us to pay attention to what they've got to say. But on a more personal level, it's the time when I think that there could be some quite heated discussions coming up in your inner circle where, people are sort of trying to put across what they see as in a gentle but forthright manner, what they need to sort of say, and they want to be heard. It's like they want to be centre of their universe or on the centre stage in their lives. There's nothing wrong with that. What I will say to you, though, is be careful at how you approach this. Make sure that you're being truthful. Make sure that you're not exaggerating or embellishing your position or what you feel should be the outcome out of the situation. The reasons I'm suggesting that is we've got the planet of communication, Mercury, that we talk about quite often on the show. He's making an absolutely amazing, lovely aspect to the planet Jupiter in Sagittarius, which in astrological terms is known as a trine, or it's an easy configuration or an easy transit. So we have this opportunity then with communication to run away with ourselves a little bit, because it's making this beautiful trine to Jupiter in Sagittarius, where Jupiter is about expansion and opportunity, but it's also about truth. But sometimes in that quest to sort of get our voice heard and to get our point across, we might embellish or stretch the truth a little bit, make it sound a little bit better than what it is. Gee, have you heard a few people do that recently in the political arena? I know I have here in Australia, and I've been watching, world events, and they all seem to be in the same club at the moment. But going back to the 3 other planets that are sitting in Leo at the moment, we've got Venus, Mars, and the Sun, all literally holding hands, or what's known as a conjunction in astrological circles, that they are holding hands, they are making a difference at the moment. And this is why the emphasis this week is on communication, getting our voice heard, but let's do it in a forthright but a dynamic sort of way. Let's not be pushy or bossy or jockeying for position. Let's do it with, poise and grace and ease, and do it in a loving sort of way. And, we can still get our point across. And that takes me on to our famous person of the week this week. Even though we're working with the female sign of Virgo and we're looking at actresses this week, This week, I'm really pleased to say that we're working with one of the world's most beautiful women, and I think she will always be known as this, long past when she fades away, which she's still with us, I might say, and that's the one and only Sophia Loren. I mean, what a gorgeous woman. I mean, a woman that epitomises everything that the female energy has to share with us. Not only is she drop dead gorgeous, but she is so strong and dynamic, and she's been an amazing role model for women all around the world. And Sophia's story is an interesting one because she started out, she won a beauty contest, and from that she was sort of talked into sort of maybe doing some acting work, and she did, she had little roles here and there, and then all of a sudden Paramount Pictures got hold of her, and then the rest is history, as they say. She became one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, and even today she holds records for things that no other woman on the planet that's alive still holds today. And she is known as the classic Hollywood cinema. She's one of the golden girls of Hollywood, and it's somebody that I think that we should always remember where she came from, very humble beginnings, but she never lost her ability to be feminine. And I think that's the important thing. So many people you see come and go today in today's society where, instant fame is something happens sort of almost overnight, and particularly with social medias and so forth. But for somebody to sustain such a very long, lengthy relationship with the public and never to really be tarnished, I think we can look no further than Sophia Loren, where she always seemed to have a smile on her face. She was always beautifully groomed, and she epitomises everything that I think women should be striving for, and that's to be a woman. So anyway, moving along, we're going to be working fairly fast today because I want to make sure that we fit in our 2 callers today. So this week we're working with the Simply Tarot candle, and the reasons why I've chosen this one is the fact that I think many of us at different times are working with our intuition. It's something that, whether you read tarot cards or you don't, or you just sort of like to meditate or listen to your own inner voice, things like that, we can all do with setting the scene for us to sort of sit there and meditate or contemplate the things that are going on in our lives. And this was the very, very first candle that we designed here at Amanda Hall Psychic, was the Simply Tarot candle to complement our Simply Tarot cards that we've been working with on the show earlier. And I personally sort of chose a purple candle because I wanted to bring in the psychic sort of energy, and I wanted everybody to be able to sort of feel comfortable with a colour that was very regal, that was very psychic, but also had a very definite, significant fragrance that would enhance your psychic ability or your meditation or just anything that you might have been doing in the form of divination. And that's the correct term for anything that you're working with in a psychic realm as far as tools. And this candle is fragranced with vanilla and lavender. It is quite a strong candle, but it also has a scent that I think fills your home or your office with such a lovely, calming sort of energy that we all relate to. It's not foreign. It's something that's familiar. It's something that makes us feel secure in ourselves. So when we're working with the Simply Tarot candle, you don't have to be, reading tarot cards. You can just have it burning in the background just because you like it. But I like to burn my candle for about 15 minutes to 2 hours a day. I quite often burn this when I'm working psychically because I feel it sets the mood for that sort of work. So for those of you that might not want an extra large candle, we do make a gift box set. And this week I'm going to feature 3 different candles because I want to show you that you don't have to have just 3 of the same. So I've made this gift box set up with Good Luck, the Simply Tarot candle, and a Love candle, just to show you that any combination is possible from the 28 in our range. Now, our little mini candles here, they'll burn for about 15 hours, and they're a good travel size, or you can split the pack up and give them away as individual little gifts. The choice is yours. And we get really busy as we head towards this holiday season because lots of people buy these sets to give away as little gifts over the holiday season. Now, for those of you that don't want to work with a candle, but you want to work with the energy of a candle, but you say to me that, look, a candle's, not exactly the safest thing that I can be working with, you can purchase one of these melt warmers from your local department store or supermarket. They are fairly inexpensive. This is an electric version. I take 2 teaspoons of the soy wax out of that at the beginning of the week, and then I add half a teaspoon a day. So if you're writing a list of your intent, purpose and direction and things that you want to put on your wish list or things you might be releasing, you can pop this underneath your melt warmer as you do your candle, always placing things on a coaster so that we've never directly got it going on furniture. But this is very safe to have around children and pets as well, and it's something you don't have to babysit. I tend to sit with my candle when it's burning purely for safety reasons. So that's just a little insight into our lovely world of soy candles here at Amanda Hall Psychic, and we're going to take our very first caller, which is Mary Jo in Cynthia, Kentucky, USA. Are you there, Mary Jo?
Yes, hi, how are you?
Well, thank you, sweetie. Do you have a question I can work with?
Yes, I would like to see if we could contact my mother, Bernice.
Mary Jo, I always say to everybody each week on the show, there's no definite guarantees that we can connect with your mother because that's who you want to connect with on the other side. Unfortunately, I don't have a direct link, but what I can suggest to you is if you give me a direct question to work with, if your mum wants to interrupt and come through with a message, she will do so. That's the way I like to work. So do you have a question I can work with?
I'd like to know why
that's confusing.
I'm sorry?
I said, is there an area of your life that you need some more clarity on?
Yes, it took her 8 days to die, and she was trying to tell us something.
Right.
But we don't know what.
Okay. Again, you're asking me to try and tap into her on the other side, and I've explained to you that's not necessarily something I can do in this short space of time. It's up to her if she wants to make contact, and sometimes they don't want to make contact in such a public forum. I appreciate that, you and the family feel that there was something that she wanted to communicate with you and was unable to do so.
Okay, so
she's not giving.
Can you just?
Is there another area of your life though that, other than your mum's passing, that's concerning you at the moment?
Yeah, I'm very unhappy, and I would just like to know: will things change? Is my future going to change?
Okay, all right. Let's go into that. The first thing that I'm picking up there is there's definitely a lot of doors slamming shut. So to me, that's a number of endings, changes and transformations happening now, Mary Jo. It's almost like that you feel like you're at the end of your tether. It's like, I can't deal with much more of this. I feel like I've got nothing left in the reserve tank to keep fighting with. Now, it's interesting because I feel that's how your mum felt at the end, like there was nothing more she could give to try and hang on. She kept showing me a rope, and it was like she was at the end of the rope. There was nothing more in her reserve tank to keep fighting. Now, what she's sort of sharing with me now, all as she wanted to try and say to you at that time was that I can't do this anymore. I've had enough. This is as far as I can go. There's nothing left in me to fight with. Please understand that. It's not that I want to leave you. It's just I've got nothing left to fight with. Now, that's not being disrespectful, and that's not saying she wanted to leave the family. It's just that's the message that she was trying to get through, that she just didn't have anything left in her to continue to put up this fight. I don't think she was ready to go. Yeah, I just don't think she was ready to go. She felt cheated. Would you say that's a fair assumption of the situation?
Yes, she was tired.
I know she was tired, but she also sort of felt she wasn't ready to go yet, but yet there was no energy left to fight this departure.
Yeah, she raised 10 kids by herself with no help. She was tired.
Right, that makes sense. Well, she's telling me now. Go on.
She told us that she wasn't going to make it through the surgery and,
right.
you know, a year ahead of time.
No. Okay, but I think right at the end, she was still fighting to try and, keep going because she wasn't ready to go yet. But there was nothing left in her fuel tank to fight with. And what she's sort of saying to me now, even though you feel like there's nothing left in your fuel tank to fight with, there is. It's not your turn to sort of to leave the planet yet. But she's also showing me from next month, as early as next month, things are going to start to turn around for you. There's a lot of things that you're going to have to look forward to in this next 12 months, where everything has always been such a struggle for you, Mary Jo. Things are now going to start to ease off. Things are going to start to come towards you easily. And she's showing me a very, very big pink heart. So the only way I can interpret that is that there must be a lot of love coming into your life, love like you've never experienced before. So is there no one special or significant around you at the moment?
Yes, I have a husband, but it's like he had prostate cancer 13 years ago, and so it's like we're just two people living in the same house.
Mm-hmm.
We love each other, and we tell each other we love each other, but there's no affection, and Mommy always showed affection.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she had 10 kids, she was like an octopus. She always had her hand on us, stroking our hair or rubbing our back, or, you know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
So,
yeah.
So I'm just so alone. I feel alone all the time.
She's showing me that you're not going to be alone in whatever way this pink heart manifests itself. And it's not just her, hugging you from the other side. She's physically showing me this heart is bigger than I've ever seen anything this big before, and as far as, showing somebody that there's love and affection and attention coming towards them. And that doesn't necessarily have to mean, that you're getting rid of your husband and you're bringing in someone new. I think there's going to be love shown to you and affection shown to you in other ways that will fill that void. But she's also sort of showing me that there's letters or communication or something of an official nature coming towards you that is going to bring a smile to your face. So I'm not sure whether you're waiting on an answer or something official, something government, but she's showing me that you're going to be very happy with what's in this letter. Is there something there that you've been waiting on?
No, not that I know of. I've just been waiting on my husband to get the... I've just been waiting on my husband to get the energy to want to live and do things. We have 4 grown kids and 19 grandkids, and we've never even had a honeymoon yet.
Right. Well, that'd be nice if you got the opportunity to have a honeymoon, wouldn't it?
Yeah, after 38 years.
Well, I suppose that could fit into the category of this giant-sized, oversized heart, if you got that opportunity to take a honeymoon. I'm not sure what your mum means by that, but I know she's smiling down from above, and she keeps sharing with me that there's some really beautiful surprises to come towards you in this next 12 months, and you will feel loved, and you will feel as if your life is finally starting to move forward. And she's showing me that, your spirit is going to be uplifted. So for that to happen, there has to be some positive things changing in your life to make you feel this way, Mary Jo.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope it's my husband feeling better, and
I'm sure that's going to happen, sweetie. That's where we're going to have to leave it.
He's the only one that can fulfill it, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, absolutely. I wasn't saying that there was a new partner coming. She was just sharing with me that you were going to have this opportunity for a lot of love and affection in the next 12 months, and it's going to make your heart very full.
He he said when the last one turned 18, it'd be our turn.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to be 36.
Right.
So it's not been our turn yet.
No, but it will be your turn. Anyway, that's where we've got to leave it, Mary Jo. I'm going to take our next caller, which is Lila in Vernon, British Columbia. Are you there, sweetie? Isla, are you there, Isla? Oh, well, I'm sure we'll have Isla in a moment or two. I'll just keep talking until Isla comes to the phone. So, you know, it's been an interesting week astrologically. I'm sure most of you have had a fairly busy time with, you know, Leo dancing through all of our lives with all the planetary configurations. But make sure that you keep your patience hat on this week too, as people sort of try and take centre stage. You know, we can't all be on the stage together and be in the limelight. We've got to share the stage with other people and allow them to have a turn as well. So it's a very interesting time ahead of us, and maybe Isla is now with us. No, not so far. Okay, so we'll keep talking about, she's there?
No.
Are you there, Isla?
Yes, I am.
Do you have a question I can
Yes,
work
I
with,
am.
sweetie? Yeah, do you have a question I can work with, please, sweetie?
I just want to know the direction I'm going, because I'm either going to retire or leave the job I'm currently in.
Okay. First thing that they're showing me is the symbol for change. So I'm taking from that there is a big decision to be made. I don't feel that you're going to stay in this current job, but I don't think you're ready. I don't think you're ready to retire yet either. I'm sort of seeing the opportunity to sort of take another job coming up towards late November, early December this year, and it's like a really big decision at whether you go that direction or do you stay where you are. But I feel that you already know the answer to that, is that where you are now is not fulfilling you. It doesn't excite you. You don't get out of bed and say, great, I'm going to work today. You sort of feel as if the energy around that job is slowly starting to come to a close. The next job, I feel, is a little bit closer to home, but I also sort of feel that you're working with much more in a positive sort of way. The people that you're working with have got a much more positive attitude. You really enjoy going to work. I don't think you're ready to retire yet. Not by a long shot. I feel the next couple of years there's going to be so many different opportunities and activities that are coming into your life that you almost feel like you're 20 again. It's a real resurgence of energy, which is a good thing. I don't feel that's necessarily a bad thing. But the other question I would put towards you, Isla, were you making changes to the home that you're living in or questioning about whether or not it was time to move? Is that something that's been going through your mind?
Yes, I am in the process of moving right now.
You're in the process of moving?
Yes, to another town.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, that's good, because I could see this, you know, thinking about moving and all those sort of things. I just think the next couple of years are going to be very exciting. I don't think that you're slowing down by any stretch of the imagination. If anything, I think you're going to get, your life's going to be fuller and busier, and, you know, as you open yourself up to new ideas and new people, and it just feels very exciting. So have you been working very consciously this year on your health, like sort of making changes to the way that you approach your life?
That's what I will be doing this coming year, because my daughter had a brain injury and I've been a caretaker, so that's what it's about me.
But in that time, did you sort of look at your own lifestyle and the way that you were managing your own health? Because you've had time to be able to look at that or think about it?
Yes, I have.
Well, that's good, because what they were showing me, whatever decisions or whatever changes or choices that you've made pertaining to your own personal health, they were showing me keep it up, keep going, because you are on the right path. Even though the results or the rewards from that might have seemed slow, we are getting them. They are happening, so keep going with that, because I actually feel your energy levels are starting to come back to you, and it's sort of like everything in your body is now coming into balance. So I think you've had a very stressful life in lots of ways where you've never really had the time to be able to stop and catch your breath. And, you know, even though this has been a hectic year too, with family commitments and whatever, it's been a different sort of hectic where you've been able to catch your breath a little bit in pockets of this year. So this is good because we've been finally able to, I think, release a lot of things that you've gathered over the years that you've held on to. I'll deal with that tomorrow or next week. Well, we've been able to deal with that and release it. And this is why your mind, body and soul, I believe, is coming back into balance.
That's so true.
Pardon me. And that's a good thing because I feel that that's very, very necessary for you to be able to do that. And it's going to be important for pardon me, for you moving forward into the next, 2 years of your life with a lot more gusto and determination and really fulfilling and living your life to the fullest. And it's amazing. I feel very excited for you.
Me too, and thank you.
You're very, very welcome, but it's lovely to talk to you, Isla. It's always interesting when I think as individuals that we start on a different path where we start looking at our health because we've got to a certain age and we've got a few creaky bones and things aren't functioning the way that we want to, or whether we just have the time to catch our breath and look at maybe some of the things that we've never had time to process or deal with before. So it's been an interesting 2019 where a lot of people that I've worked with around the world have been actually looking at trying to de-stress their lives and bring their lives more into balance. So if you haven't caught up with the rest of us doing that yet, maybe that's something that you need to be approaching and looking at as we head towards the end of 2019 and get ready for 2020, which has got a nice ring to it, I might say. So wherever you are in this amazing planet of ours, enjoy this next week. Make sure that you share the stage and the limelight with someone else. You can't hog it all just to yourself just because you think you're the most important person in your universe. There's always other people that are surrounding us and are important to us that also need to be acknowledged and given the opportunity to share the stage with us. So until next week, I hope the stage is big enough for all of you. Bye for now.